right, welcome to the No Cap Sports Show podcast where sports and convos collide. I'm your guest host, Colby Turner, and I'll be filling in for Fredo, Mo Money, Jay Will, and Mills Lanes while they enjoy their much-deserved vacation. But I have some special guest hosts with me today. These two gentlemen are legends from the DMV. In the 90s, if you're talking about football, you can't talk about football without mentioning these two gentlemen's name. Um, to the right, I have Omar Evans, an all-Met player out of Springbrook High School, who's also a legend from the historic Howard University, where he was first-team All-MEAC, Division I AA All-American, and former professional football player. Then I also have Mpume Masimini, All-Met from Wilson High School, Washington, D.C. Went to East Carolina University, started as a freshman before transferring to Howard, where he was a first-team All-MEAC player and a D1 AA All-American. Fellas, thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate the love. But I could get a bucket too, though.
Weekend?
Don't get it twisted. I was a football player, but I could get a bucket too.
Yeah, I was
You know
a
what?
basketball.
What?
I was on a basketball team.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because this is what I want to do. I want to go around the horn. I'm gonna start with you, Mpume, and just give us a brief summary of your athletics career. Let's start ninth grade. You know, that's when the show really starts, ninth grade of high school.
Oh man!
So let's give the fans a brief summary of your athletics career.
Ninth grade, I was, we were in junior high school in DC, so I wasn't even playing football. Because back then you couldn't play football in the ninth grade, so it was strictly basketball. Ninth grade was when when I started playing with what would become DC Assault. Me, Black Frank McQueen,
I played with Frank.
Willie Bullock. It was like six of us. You know what I'm saying? So that's ninth grade. But then when I played football in high school, I was okay at that. So yeah, you got it. All Met. Player of the year, defensive player of the year, all that, Pigskin Club. Me and my dog Omar.
You petty. You gotta bring that up. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready. I'll go next. It's all right. It's okay. You petty.
Well,
It's all right.
We did that. All that. You hit on everything. East Carolina Howard University. So bounce around a little bit, play, catch a couple. Not too many, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's dope. Omar, tell us about yourself.
I was a freshman that played a little bit of basketball. I started at Springbrook High School. I was the first freshman to start and play in more than 4 games as a true freshman at Springbrook. Went on to move around a little bit. Just played there. Made the Pigskins a club. Should have won Defensive Player of the Year, but they gave it to that other guy that's on the phone right now. I feel like that was the DC thing. I feel like they didn't want to give it to somebody from a regular school, especially a Montgomery County school. I was the only person that made it that year from a public school that was outside of Washington, D.C. But it sparked me and made me want to work harder. Wound up going to prep school for a year. Got into a little bit of trouble and wound up going to Howard University, and things worked out well for me. Appreciate Mr. Steve Wilson, and God rest in peace to Papa Springs, Sean Springs' father. And and I did pretty well there. I did. And by the way, I was a 2-time all conference. I was 2-time all conference, not one. Just want to clear that up. Cool. Just want to clear that up, buddy.
All
Clear
right,
that up.
I 100% feel you on the politics with the All Met selection of
Oh
Player of the Year.
man, the
Because
pigskin, the pig.
hey look,
Yeah, the
hey look,
pigskin. Yeah, you know, it's
hey
okay.
look, yeah.
I made the George Michael Sports Machine go in 11, and he didn't. So I got him back on that one. But hey, listen, if I'm gonna lose to somebody, I wind up. I'm happy I lost to my brother because he was a monster back in the days, and we were. It was crazy how we met because we was ranked. And, you know, I would see his name in all the different magazines in the top 100s and the Street and Smiths and so forth and so forth. So it was crazy how we met. And then when he transferred from East Carolina to Howard, and I wasn't playing my first year because, you know, I had gotten into a little bit of trouble. So I was a prop 48. So we wound up, you know, meeting and, you know, and there it was. We've been together ever since. So it was cool. It was cool.
Oh, that's dope. So Pumi, I was telling, I feel how the politics always side with the DC public school kids
No
because,
question.
as I understand it, I finished second in voting for All Met Player of the Year my senior year in basketball to Victor Page. And just to put it in perspective, he played 11 games. I played 27 games, but he still get played a year. so yeah, I feel you on that, though.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know he only played 11 games. Victor Page was a bad dude, you know. But the politics was because he beat him. That's when Dunbar was riding high, and he took McKinley to beat Dunbar. I still remember that. But Vic was, you came out with Vic.
Yeah,
I thought you came out in 95, Kobe.
Now Kobe 94.
Me and Vic was the same year, and then we both left and went to prep school. He went up to Winchendon, and I went to Hargrave. So we both ended up coming out in 95.
Yeah, he went to Winchendon.
Yeah. All right. So look, fellas, we got a lot to talk
94.
about.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kobe.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about, fellas. So we need to jump into it. So there's a lot of sports news out here.
Yeah.
You have the Baker Mayfield trade happened today. Baseball is in full effect. You have WNBA playing. Wimbledon is in the semifinals, but the biggest sports news that everybody's been talking about is the Kevin Durant trade request from Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
And I have mixed feelings about it. I want to make sense of this trade request for me, please.
Okay.
Let's open up, Omar, and Pumi chime in.
My thing is, I truly believe I don't know Kevin Durant, never met him before, but hold up, Pum. Let me just say 2 seconds, bro.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Like I ain't mad at nobody that asked.
Well,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because people always act like.
Your mic cutting in and out, man. Fix your connection.
Pumi having technical difficulties, but go ahead, Omar.
They
get rid of you.
Pumi, you having technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's all right. Just go ahead.
Just keep on
going with your tape, and we'll bring Pumi in once he get right. Go ahead.
So my thing is, I truly believe he is a true love. I think he is a person that truly loves the game. And I think he understands. I think with the whole Brooklyn stuff, with not only Kyrie and everything, I think how they handled the situation. I truly believe he just want to play basketball, and I think I think he realizes now when he was in Golden State, yeah, he went through a little bit, but basketball was easy for him. It was easy to get 20. It was easy to what I mean, because when you that's one thing Golden State does very well. They play good team basketball, making the extra pass. You might have a good shot, but if I can pass it to Kobe gonna have a better shot. And I truly believe that he wants to just play basketball and get with some folks that truly want to lock in and bump. Period. The business side is the business side. We all know that comes in professional sports. And yeah, you do got to deal with the business side. But sometimes the way I think what was promised to him, or maybe how it went down is not what they, you know what I'm saying, it's not what's happening or whatever. So I think he's like, man, look, I don't want to be a part of this trying to rebuild stuff. I tried to do it on my own. It didn't work out. I want to go to a contender. I want to go to a Phoenix, you know, where I got D Book and Chris Paul and some guys that I know that's really locked in. You know what I mean? They there. I don't got to worry about them trying to request a trade, not playing the game, playing the game. Let's just go play basketball and see what we can do. Put 100% effort into playing basketball. And that's just my take on it. I just think that's how he is as a person from the outside looking in. And I truly believe that's where, you know, that's just my take. That's how I feel.
Yeah. You know what? I agree. Just from the outside looking in, I think that, you know, Kevin Durant, he just wants to play basketball. He's a ball player. He loves the hoop. But my one thing that I identify with him, I just think that he lacks leadership skills, and he doesn't want to accept all the responsibility that comes with being the face of a franchise, or in his case, one of the faces of the league. You know,
sir.
And I think that Kevin Durant could have made that his time in Brooklyn with Kyrie more successful if he would have held Kyrie accountable, held other people in the organization more accountable, but that's just not his personality. You know what I mean? So when he went to Golden State, as you mentioned, he didn't have any of those responsibilities.
All he had,
the only thing he had to do is what he loved to do is get 30, 40 and go home. You know? Home. So, Mpume, sure. what's your take on Kevin Durant?
Like I said, man, I ain't mad at him. You know, like I think that if you don't want to be there, you don't want to be there. I don't think that athletes should have to have any more loyalty to a team than the team has to the athletes.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? When the team feels like they're ready to move on, they're gonna move on. So if an athlete feel like, man, I'm ready to move on, then I can ask to move on. Like they don't have to honor his request, but I don't think that's what you want. You don't want a disgruntled superstar as your guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I ain't mad at him, but I do agree. I think Kevin Durant is like a unique player in that I don't think we've ever seen anybody as talented truly as he is, but lacks that leadership. You know what I'm saying? Usually when it's somebody
100%.
that's supremely talented, that leadership quality is tied into that.
No, that's not true, because we just saw somebody win. That's not true, because we just saw somebody win a championship that's not a leader. Kawhi Leonard just did it. He's not a out with a leader like that. He just go out there and ball. That's the reason why they was having problems when he first went to the LA Clippers. Instead of him living in Los Angeles, living in San Diego.
But if you think about it, it's the same situation. It's the same situation like Kevin Durant going to Golden State. He went into an organization that was ready to win, that was solid from top to bottom.
What I'm saying is, what is he doing now with the Clippers?
Right, and that's why they haven't been successful yet.
But I think that the reason why Kawhi was successful in Toronto also was there was a leader there in Kyle Lowry. You know what I'm saying? Like that was Kyle Lowry's team. He just got a supremely talented guy on the team. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
What I'm saying is usually, and I'm not saying this is a fact, but I'm just saying usually if you have somebody, and it ain't been but probably 15 or 20 people in the history of the NBA as talented as Kevin Durant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you just talk about straight talent, but those people are usually leaders of their team. You know what I'm saying? I think that Kevin Durant is perfectly fine with, like Kobe said, coming in, getting 30, letting whoever it is have to take on the brunt of the questions. But the only thing I don't like is he does want that pat on the back that comes with being the guy. You know what I'm saying? He does want them MVPs and stuff. And with that, like, I mean, we all know it's just like in football, the quarterback get the blame and the fame. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that KD wants the fame, not the blame.
Yeah.
You know, but again, he a dog. Yeah. I love to see him down in that blue and white playing in American Airlines Arena. You know what I'm saying?
No way. Nah.
Luka the dog.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So he ain't got to worry
Let
about
him
having
go.
a dog.
Nah.
He can come on down. He come on down.
Yeah, so that
spot up in the
so
corner,
look, that was
you know.
my next question. That was my next question to you, gentlemen. First, shout out E, shout out T. Brent said, "Here we go." What's up, Brent? What's up, family?
What's up?
So that was my next question. That was my next question to you. What would you like to see Kevin Durant land? If this trade go through, where would you like to see him play at?
In Phoenix. I want to see him go to Phoenix. I want to see him play with Chris Paul. I want to see him play with Devin Book. In Phoenix. I want to see him go to Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yep.
I want to see him. If Kyrie go to the Lakers,
he said where I want to see him.
Well, he said both of them.
Nah, he
both
said me
us.
first.
So you like Phoenix, and that's cool. But if Kyrie go to the Lakers, with John Wall at the Clippers, I would love to see him go to the Lakers or Dallas.
You want to see him go to the Lakers and play with LeBron?
Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. I would love to see it.
I would love to see LeBron, KD, and Kyrie versus Paul, Kawhi, and John Wall. That'll be a tough ass 7. That's gonna be some great basketball. And then you got Golden State up the road. You know what I'm saying? Doing what they doing. Mm-hmm. Like I think that'll be awesome.
I would love to see it.
If he come to Dallas,
Yep.
Well, he gonna have to. Anthony Davis got to go.
Yeah.
Glass
so
Glass
from all
man gotta go.
Yeah. Absolutely. So all the trade packages I saw was Anthony Davis and Westbrook going to Brooklyn for Kyrie and KD.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
and then of course they probably have to throw something else in there as well. But
of course,
I just think those three gentlemen together, those three ballers together with the IQ and the talent that they have, man, going against the Phoenixes and the Clippers and the Golden State Warriors, that's just something to see. And I just want to see the dynamic. Yeah, it would be absolutely special.
It'd be awesome for the Lakers organization and stuff like that for sure. For sure, if they could pull it off, I'm not mad at it. For sure, I'm not. I want to see him go somewhere where he got a chance to win. In Dallas, that's not it.
So would you like to see him go back to Golden State?
No, absolutely not. No, not me. I'll no.
Yeah.
Nah. I let like you.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him back
there. Because that's been talks as well. A reunion with them, but I just don't see where that'll work. You know.
Nah. Not at all.
It was a tough breakup. A lot of things were said. And now that they win a championship without him, it's just it definitely wouldn't be a good look.
Yeah, it's not even a why. I mean, for what? Why?
Yeah.
You got young Stable right there. You got Poole right there coming up, being a young player, doing what he's doing. You got some young players over there, some role players that's that's one thing about Golden State organization, man. They do a good job of grooming them young kids and bringing them in and bringing them up. And whoever's drafting over there, salute to them because they know what they're doing and they're doing a good job. So no need to mess that chemistry up. It already y'all already won a championship. They did what they needed to do. Now let him go somewhere else.
Man, I see we're getting a lot of comments that say come to Washington. Why you don't think you think KD would consider even coming to Washington and play for the Wizards?
Next question.
Right. I mean, I know they tried that before. I know they tried it before, and I believe he didn't even show up for the visit. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see him come home. But he needs some help. And just him and Bradley Beal, they can't do it. They need some help. They need some help. They need some good young pieces, and to put them in places or whatever the case may be. I don't think he should come home to Washington. And it's tough to come home and play for your hometown team. It's a lot of stuff you got to deal with off the field. I witnessed it firsthand with my big brother Sean Springs coming home from Seattle Seahawks, then playing for the Washington Redskins or whatever the case may be. So it's just a lot, man, that you have to deal with, or whatever. And I just think right now, if they had some more pieces, if they was just like, maybe a player away or just, a couple pieces, maybe, or if they can get some trade, whatever, but nah, go out there on the West Coast, play with LeBron or play with Chris Paul and them and try to win a championship out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, all the listeners, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and also share the YouTube channel, the No Cap Sports Show Podcast.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The other piece of that Brooklyn dynamic duo, Kyrie Irving.
Right.
So he opted in, I believe, for his 1 year, $36 million.
Yes, sir.
And now all we hearing about is him being traded possibly to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right.
Is that a good fit? Would you like to see Kyrie go to the Lakers and rejoin and reunite with LeBron James and get it popping with him once again and see what they can do out there in LA?
I'll let my brother Mpume, since he just got back.
My bad. This hotel Wi-Fi ain't what you want, man. You know what I'm saying? So I went over. I like Kyrie. He a little weird to me. You know what I'm saying? But I like him. Like, I like his game. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to see him, KD, and LeBron play together. Like, I don't think we've ever seen. Like, I think the closest you got was to either MJ and Scotty or Kobe and Shaq in terms of having like 2 to 3 or 4 best players in the world playing together. You know what I'm saying? And, I like to see it. Like, so Kyrie go there, that's a hell of a big 3. I like to see it.
What if Kyrie go there but KD don't? Does that make the Lakers a better team if they swap out Kyrie and Russell Westbrook? So now you got
I just ain't
Kyrie,
no fan of
LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I ain't no fan of Anthony Davis, man. Mr. Glass. I just
Glass,
ain't.
Man.
I ain't putting no faith in him. Playing no more than 30 games.
He need to bump into my old trainers and the building where I used to work at. I ain't gonna give him no love on here, but definitely he need to bump into some different trainers and stuff. You know what I mean? To help him get his body right and stuff like that. And whatever he was doing in the off season, that wasn't working. Are we allowed to curse on here?
Absolutely.
No? Yeah.
Speaking.
Well, yeah. Wherever he was at, that shit wasn't working. So he need to go back to the drawing board. He need to get some people around him that's gonna tell him the truth. That he need to lock in and do what he need to do, because first of all, his where they was trying to put him at, I didn't see it personally. You know what I mean? But I see he has the talent. But nah.
So you don't think so? Injuries aside, Anthony Davis not a top 5 talent in the NBA?
Not potential talent or a talent right now.
Well,
that's
in my opinion,
that's a big difference between potential and right now.
Well, in my opinion, over the course of the years, especially his years in New Orleans, I thought he was a top 5 player then. Before he was traded to the Lakers, I saw him in my top 5, and there was some years I was like, he may be top 2 or 3.
Yeah, those were the years that when you was thinking probably when you was with me at the bar drinking bourbon and having cigars. So,
I never thought he's top 2 or 3.
You might not have been
seriously, at a time I had
No
LeBron, KD, and Anthony Davis in my top 3.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to put him in the top 10 in the NBA right now. I'm struggling to put him in the top 10. Like,
yeah.
Nah.
If you was the Wizards, would you trade Bradley Beal for Anthony Davis?
I would.
I wouldn't. Huh?
I would.
I wouldn't. You would trade Bradley Beal for Anthony Davis?
I would keep my fingers crossed in regards to him getting injured, but I mean, we have enough sample size to see what he can do when he's fully healthy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I that's what, and I think that's sometimes that's what makes you frustrated with him, because he shows flashes, but then sometimes when you need him in the biggest games, right? When you need that, he be that dog, or we need them 28 points like Shaq and Barkley and them be saying, or he needs to have 28. He needs to come out and be aggressive. And then he does it for one game after he didn't do good the game before. But then the next game, he come back and give you 14, 16. That's not good enough. You can't do that when you consider top 5.
If he plays.
You can't do that when you consider top 5 or top 3. I don't care, Colby Turner and Mpume Masimini. If I'm on an NBA team and I got the green light, I don't care if we lose or not, but I'm gonna go at you and I'm gonna give you a 30-piece nugget every time. So yeah, you saw that in New Orleans, but also a great player got to know how to play with another good. Yeah, but a great player got to know how to play with another good player. You see what I'm saying? He got to know when it's his time to get buckets. That's what I mean. That's how LeBron. That's why LeBron, he one of the best. He know how to get his. He know how to get other people involved and still get his. And Anthony Davis, it seemed like he be, he's struggling with that a little bit. Then that's just my opinion. But I think the potential is off the charts. But man, but how much longer we gonna keep talking potential?
Yeah,
man? Shit.
Yeah, 100%. He is missing that dog. That's the one thing that we're missing from Anthony Davis, that dog in him. And I think LeBron been trying to hand over the keys to him for the last 2-3 seasons, but he won't take them.
You don't want him.
So
you don't want him.
Well, and that may be the deciding factor of somebody not making a deal with LA for them to get a Kyrie and KD to come over to LA, because they not bought in 100% bought into the Anthony Davis experience,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis remind me of, I was talking to Chris, to one of my boys who used to play basketball. He said, man, a lot of jokers in the league are good at basketball. Like, they're in the NBA because they're really good at basketball. So then you got guys that are in there because they absolutely love it. But that's the LeBrons, the Kobe's, he's like, and KD's. And he's like, but you see that, but they work, and that shit goes throughout the entire game. Like, you see, but one of the things he said is, you see those guys, because they love the game so much, they take care of their bodies and they don't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, because taking care of your body becomes part of being great. You know what I'm saying? So that's always I go to Anthony Davis is, I think he's good at basketball. I don't know how much he loves it, to ascend and become that top 5 guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from on that. We also had a lot of trades and signings so far this all season. What's some of your favorite signings or trades that you've seen so far?
Christian Wood, baby. Christian Wood to the Dallas Mavericks, man. We got us a 20-10 big that could shoot 40% from the 3. That's huge.
Never heard of. Where'd he come from?
No, Christian Wood is a dog. He came from Houston. He 6'11". He an inside out big, and I was kind of mad because Houston put a package on the table last year for the Lakers to get for Russell Westbrook, they could have got John Wall and Christian Woods, and for some reason they didn't pull the trigger on that, and that I didn't understand it because Christian Wood is one of the best young bigs in the league, in my opinion.
That's
a 20 and 10 guy, man. It ain't a lot of 20 and 10 guys in the league. You know what I'm saying? Especially shooting 41% from three. That's all we need, man. You know, give us another shooter around Luka.
Mm-hmm. You know what? You know what a quiet trade and sign was DeJounte Murray to the Atlanta Hawks. That was a pretty big.
Oh, the boy from the Spurs.
From the Spurs, that was a pretty. Yeah,
he can boogie. I like him a lot.
That was a big time trade. Then you got him and Trae Young in the backcourt. Yeah. Now he can give Trae that relief. And Trae can just run around kind of like Steph doing and go to state and don't have to worry about being a facilitator and all that good stuff because Murray going to handle that. And then you got to think Murray a shutdown defender. He's long and athletic. So you made your team better now just off that one person coming to your mob.
Yeah, he nice. Yeah, he nice. He nice.
Rudy Gobert to the Timberwolves. and what the Timberwolves gave up to get him.
What they give up?
They gave up 4 players and 4 first-round picks.
5 first-round picks.
5?
5.
Good grief.
So, I mean, I don't understand it. Rudy Gobert is an excellent defensive player. He's one of the only true bigs in the game, but come on now, he's not that guy to get a trade package like that.
If you were a rim protector and rebounding away from competing, I could maybe see you. You know what I'm saying? But that's not where Minnesota is. And then he was exposed so badly in the playoffs. You know that yes, he's a great rim protector, but I mean, it ain't that many, to your point, there ain't that many bigs in the league anymore. So once somebody goes small and you got to check that 6'10" stretch 4, he's dead in the water. I mean, Dallas made him look like a liability, not an asset. You know what I'm saying? He looked terrible against Dallas. Like he was like, man, somebody get this guy out of the game. And
he couldn't play.
We're not the only team that can do that.
They couldn't play with him. Yep.
Right. And we're not the only team that can do that. Everybody can do that now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, he's going to make you a much better regular season team, but in the playoffs, who's he going to check? You know, when it comes down to it.
So now that he's a Timberwolf, Karl Anthony Towns, he moves to the 4, Gobert to 5. So they're going to go big like Cleveland tried to do last year?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, what else? What is your other choice? You didn't trade for him to bring him off the bench. You know what I'm saying? You definitely ain't doing that. He ain't gonna be on the bench, so you going 5 and the 4, and I don't know who else they got at the 3, but I like that young kid, Anthony Edwards. He is a dog.
Monster.
I love him.
Superstar. He's a superstar in the making. Absolutely,
Monster.
He's a dog.
Monster.
Yeah,
monster.
Yeah.
Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Monster.
Shout out to Big Dog. He said the Celtics gonna be tough. They better be tough after how they looked in the finals.
my man Eric Johnson just said Joker's a true big. He is, but absolutely. I don't think you want Rudy Gobert having to check him for 7 games either. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you catch him because the Joker gonna go out to 25 feet and mix it up. Like, he gonna bop and get him out the way and make something happen.
I know this might be a little bit of off topic. I apologize, Kobe, but I got a quick question for y'all. Was y'all surprised by the Boston Celtics not, making any moves, or do you feel like they said, or also what do you feel about Jason Tatum's performance?
Well, let me say this about the Boston Celtics. They are a really good team, and I think they did address what they really needed for this playoff run, which was a point guard. So they signed recently, within the past couple of days, they signed Malcolm Brogdon from the Indiana
Absolutely.
Pacers.
Right.
And that would have, if they had him in the finals, you talking about your turnovers are cut down. You got a solid point guard, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum didn't have to do so much ball handling. They could have concentrated on getting buckets. But yeah, I mean, I was a little shocked and disappointed that Jason Tatum didn't show up in the finals, and he didn't have the finals that I thought he would have had. But you know, that's sometimes athletes go through that. That's growing pains. Like Big Dog said, he might come back stronger next year, come back a monster. That may have motivated him. Sometimes you need to fail like that in order to take the next step.
Facts.
You know? Yeah.
Facts.
I wasn't impressed with Tatum in the finals, but I believe this, and I told Otis a while ago. I think Tatum has a higher ceiling than Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? But I think Jaylen Brown is more consistent. Like night in, night out, Jaylen Brown got more dog in him, and he's gonna bring that with him every night. Like I would rather have on my team. If I had to get, and I don't think they play particularly well together. I think that one of them should go. I think they need to package one of them up and get as many assets as you can get and say, you know what, we're going to ride with this guy or this guy. And for me, I'll go with Jaylen Brown. I just think that I don't think he cares. Like,
so is it an age difference between them? Because I'm looking at them, it just looked like Jaylen Brown is a little older, more mature. So
They came out in consecutive drafts. So I don't know how long Jaylen Brown was in college, but they came out in consecutive drafts.
Yeah.
I wasn't. That's the reason why I brought it up, because a lot of people was talking about Jason Tatum taking that next step, and I truly believe, like, that goes to what I just said about Anthony Davis. Like, you had the biggest platform, the biggest stage there is, and it does. I understand what they said. Next year, come back and might motivate you, but it might not be no next year, brother.
Yeah,
it might not be no next year. Might not be no next year. Not on that stage.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you gotta fall on your sword.
Yeah,
you gotta fall on your sword. That's what
100%.
That's a lot of times the youth and a lot of these youngers don't understand that it ain't promised. So if you got an opportunity and you on that stage in the finals, you might not play up to your ability, but I'm gonna do everything I possibly can. I don't care if it's trying to play defense. I don't care if it's getting rebounds. I'm gonna do something to help my team win. Period. And as far as the turnovers go, you take half of them off, right? He still ended up with a rack of turnovers. And then that don't have anything to do with when you turn the ball over. That don't have anything to do with you running back on defense, getting back on defense. That to me right there, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. I can't see that.
But
I don't care what day and age this is. I can't see that.
To your point, I hated his body language. He had terrible body language in the finals. Like, and for you to be the guy, your body language got to be better than that. Yeah. And like you said, like pouting and not getting back on D. Like it was just like I ain't got no.
It was a turnover by somebody else. You turn the ball over and you don't run back. I couldn't be me.
Yeah,
you got to get him out.
I can't agree more with both of y'all, but. As I stated earlier, I think this situation right here is going to make him a stronger, better player, and I think he's going to come back next year with a vengeance. Yeah,
I hope so. I hope so.
Switching speeds a little bit. There's been a lot of talk about Brittany Griner. All right, she's been detained since February 17th of this year for allegedly possessing 2 cartridges of hash oil. When going through customs from New York to Russia. Biden administration announced that it was a wrongful detention, and a lot of folks are saying that she's being held as a bargaining chip. You have, some folks say, well, if she she was LeBron or KD or somebody, she'd be home already. Well, what's your take on the Brittany Griner detention?
So, what I believe, and you've played overseas, Kobe. My sister played over. I've had a lot of friends that played overseas. People get comfortable, and do some of the same things and she very well may have done that 30 times before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not have ever been a big deal. But if you don't acknowledge the climate of the world that you're living in, and the climate at the time is Russia going to war with the Ukraine, like, you don't need to be giving them any reason. You know what I'm saying? So we can say on our end, like, oh, she shouldn't be. No, I'm not going to argue that. But also, I think it was a little bit of arrogance on her part, saying that, I'm going to keep these cartridges when you live in Phoenix. Like, you can throw them shits away. And when you get to Phoenix, go buy you a whole new pack for 50 or 60 or 100 or 200, whatever the fuck it is, because you're a fucking millionaire and you don't need to carry that shit with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that shit go. But I think it's a false equivalence. Like, yeah, she's an American citizen, but she's not a global icon like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So for her to say she's not the best player in the WNBA, for you to say if she was LeBron, she's a good player. You know what I'm saying? But let's not put her on LeBron's stat. Like, there's a whole lot of people that ain't LeBron. It's a whole lot of people that's in the NBA that if they got caught over there, they ain't LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, Miles Turner, your ass get caught over there, you not LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole lot of people in the NFL that's not LeBron who get caught over there. You ain't gonna have. So we're not gonna compare Brittany Griner to LeBron because she ain't LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it's a messed up situation, but we don't know everything because Russia could be lying. They could be telling the truth. But if it happened how they said it did, she got a lot of culpability in it from just being careless and reckless.
Yeah, and then, the laws in Russia is much different from ours. So I think that's what a lot of people have to understand as well. Because I know in the U.S., I researched it. If she would have got caught, let's say in New York with the 2 cartridges, she wouldn't have been criminally charged. She probably would have been fined $500 to $1,000, for having those 2 cartridges. So I think a lot of the confusion is people not understanding that there's different laws in different countries, and some people just don't play that mess. You know what I mean? And you taking a risk. I mean, like Mpume's point, there's a war going on. You're in Russia, a country where there's always been friction between U.S. and Russia, and they're just looking for some type of leverage over the U.S. to use to hang over our head, and you're going to take a risk like that to potentially, cost yourself some jail time and your family stressing out over you not being able to come home.
Yeah. And the only thing that I say is might be a little unfair to her is she probably had like her team owner probably was able to get her out of all the trouble she's ever been in. You know what I'm saying? Because them oligarchs over there have a lot of power. Mm-hmm. And this might have just been the time that they was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, not right now. Like, we've given you this in the past, but this time we're gonna keep her ass just to prove a point. Right now, we had put an embargo on her. We started doing all these things as a country, which was which is politically what they wanted to do. But you understand that you're a pawn in this, and I think, the thing that realistically, what does not help her is being, it's politically incorrect, you know what I'm saying? But it's a reality. The reality is that Brittany Griner was a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl, then she might be treated differently, you know what I'm saying? But America sees her as a big, black lesbian who, you know what I'm saying, who's intimidating. So they're not, most people, everyday people, don't have the same sympathy for her that they would have for another woman. And it's unfortunate, but that's that's an unfortunate reality of the world we live in.
Yeah. So let me ask you fellas this. Do you think that the Biden administration has been doing enough to try to get her home?
No, I feel. I mean, that no, I don't. I don't think so. I think they can
Yeah.
do a little bit more. But that's like I said, that's just my opinion. I think the whole thing is unfortunate. I sort of agree with Mpume. If you was on your way home, if she was on her way home coming to Arizona to get with her team, the Mercury or whatever, I feel like she truly could just got rid of those cartridges and got some when she got to Arizona. But we don't know. It's two sides to every story. It's an unfortunate situation, and I wish her nothing but the best and hope she gets home soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I have some conservative friends out in Ohio, and when this situation happened, they text said Trump would have been had her home. So, but y'all think Trump? Y'all think Trump would have had better success of getting Brittany Griner home?
I don't know, because when they asked, you know who the Russians asked for? They asked for a prisoner swap. But they wanted Brittany Griner for this dude they call the Angel of Death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and
well, as soon as they said that, I was like, Brittany Griner, you ain't going nowhere. They ain't gonna give him up for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you was Tom Brady, they might give Tom Brady up for the Angel of Death, or the Angel of Death up for Tom Brady. But that's about it. It's about 2 or 3 guys. You ain't it.
Yep. Yeah,
I don't think Trump would have got her out.
Yeah. I love the takes, fellas. I agree with both of your views 100%. So we got college football on the horizon, and big news in the past couple of weeks: USC and UCLA to the Big Ten. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, these two power Pac-10 schools going to the Big Ten, and why does this move make sense for these two universities?
$100 million. I mean, college football college football is getting ready to become 2 different brackets. You're gonna have it's almost like it's gonna be an AFC and an NFC. The SEC gonna be the AFC, and the Big Ten gonna be the NFC. It's 2 different brackets. Why not go to the conference that's getting $1 billion deal? I know I'm playing on TV. I know I'm good. I mean, it's just that the Pac-12 or the Big 12, all those conferences, they breaking up, and the level of competition that's in the Big 10 and the SEC. I mean, it speaks volumes. So, all of us has been athletes, and we all come out of schools, and the first thing they say is when you getting graded and stuff like that at the professional level, they talk about the conference that you play in. I could if I would have had 7 picks in the SEC or 6 picks or whatever I had my senior year at Howard, even if it's at a CAA conference or a bigger conference or whatever, you get more love like that. You know what I mean? It's a difference playing in the Big Ten than it is playing in the ACC. Now, back in the day, it might have been different, but now playing in the Big Ten or the SEC, that's it. That's it. That's just that's my opinion. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when your school is guaranteed $100 million for coming, I mean, if you're an athletic director, what you think you're gonna do?
Yeah, no brainer. Yeah, no brainer. Mpume, what's your take?
So I disagree with a little bit on the Big Ten. Like, I think the SEC is the creme de la creme. Like, ain't no top to bottom. I still think the Big Ten is top heavy with 2 or 3 teams, but their money is long right now. You know what I'm saying? I think USC and UCLA, but then I don't know, how do you recruit
Yeah.
Like, how is USC going to recruit again?
What do you mean? How do you recruit?
No, I'm just saying,
they just got the boy from Gonzaga right down the street, Caleb Williams, to leave Oklahoma and go to USC. What do you mean? How do you recruit?
No. I'm not saying how do you. What I'm saying is, you've given up now all your natural rivalries. You know what I'm saying? Except for USC and UCLA. Like, that's it. Like, you moving into in college football, that shit means something for the fans.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your rivalries mean something. So yeah, you're getting $100 million, but I don't know how, because I do think it's moving into, you're gonna have either one super conference broken up into, you know what I'm saying, different divisions, or like it's going away. Like, we ain't going. The Pac-12, once they lost them two, and now they talking about Washington and Stanford trying to leave. If Washington and Stanford go to the Big Ten too,
it's over. It's over.
Now you're the Pac-8. So the Pac-8 will be the same thing as the Big 8. You know what I'm saying? And
it's over.
So you got the ACC holding on, but the only thing, like, if Notre Dame don't go to the ACC, then they're gonna start getting plucked off too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that Notre Dame's really the only thing that'll save the ACC, because then you'll still have like 4 high quality teams. You know what I'm saying? But
who Clemson and Notre Dame.
I hope he's not trying to mention Miami.
I hope he's not mentioning Miami.
He trying to sneak that in there. Yeah, let's not do that tonight. Let's not do that.
What?
Mama, listen.
I didn't even mention my team, Florida State.
No, but that was the 4th team though. That's what I'm saying. Like, even though Florida State is having a down, couple years, they are still, they're still a force to be reckoned with recruiting. They're still a force to be reckoned with year in and year out. Like, so those are that's what I'm saying. Like, even when you're talking about 4 top-notch programs, it's a program that can go through some struggles, but still can be a monster on the recruiting trail. I got you.
But but see, you helping my argument, because you just said the Big Ten is top heavy. Well, you just saying, now you saying the same thing about
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the ACC is top heavy as well.
Right.
It's very top heavy. Like, everything in the middle is mediocre at best. They'll go up and down. Wake Forest had a good year last year. Boston College was okay, but by and large, they ain't scaring nobody. You ain't worried about, like, those schools are schools that have to hit lightning in the bottle. They have to recruit really well for 2 or 3 years, and then they'll have a great season. You know what I'm saying? But they're littered with, the ACC is littered with those at the bottom. So is the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? And the SEC, not so much. The SEC got probably 7, 8 good teams, which I don't think anybody can really, see. Like, they got 7, 8 good ones that they need to be like, it ain't even fair that Vanderbilt got to play all them people.
To answer your question, Colby Turner, they got $100 million, and that's why they leaving. Period.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
the talk has been, and I know you guys already mentioned it a little bit, is so what does Notre Dame decide to do? I know the talk has been maybe join the Big Ten, but I know there's been some history between Notre Dame and the Big Ten over the years that might prevent that from happening. But then they also mentioned Notre Dame that may be interested in going to the SEC. And to do that, they would have to pay a penalty to the ACC, because all of the other sports programs at Notre Dame is in the ACC. So they'll pay a penalty and play in a conference if they choose to do that. But out of all the schools, like Notre Dame as a standalone, they make so much money anyway, and they still have the NBC deal. Do you think them joining the conference would be beneficial?
I think it's coming to the point where they're not going to be able to be independent anymore. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be able to be, because they're going to get written out of all the postseason play.
Yeah, the conference them conference championships, man. You gonna have teams like, no disrespect to Cincinnati, but you're going to have teams like Cincinnati, because they might go undefeated and win their conference. They might have a chance to jump a Notre Dame, a one-loss Notre Dame or something like that or whatever. But a one-loss Notre Dame playing in the ACC championship, playing against a Clemson or playing, Florida State, or they might, you know what I mean? That look better. That look better on their resume. That look better on their resume. It look better on their resume.
Yeah. I heard Miami was talking about joining MEAC. You heard that?
Hey, bro, we about to win. We going to the playoffs this year.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. The Division I AA playoffs.
First of all, we got the best quarterback in college football.
Never heard of him. Don't even know where he is.
You don't pay attention then.
Yeah,
you don't pay attention. You don't pay attention. If you ain't heard of him, you don't pay attention.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Only one that got better stats than him is the kid from Ohio State.
Yeah. All right. Next topic. Next topic. Anybody about to talk about Miami?
Yeah. So fellas, we running low on time, but before I let you fellas go, I want to do something that's called rapid fire. So I'm gonna give you a question, one name or one school versus another school, and you just give your answer of who you think is better. So I start with you, Mpume. AI or Steph?
Ooh. Rapid fire. That's a tough one.
Come on, man, hurry up.
I think Steph's a better shooter, but I think AI is a better scorer.
He said rapid
so you're going with Steph. So
AI.
rapid fire, do this quick.
I'm going with Chuck, man. I can't.
AI. Next. AI.
Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Venus Williams or Serena Williams?
Serena.
Undisputed or First Take?
Neither.
Undisputed is with Nick Wright and them, right?
Neither.
No, Undisputed is with Shannon Sharp.
Shannon,
Yeah, I take Uncle Shay.
HBCU or Power 5?
Power 5. Not going no.
Except for homecoming.
All right, the rapid fire with you real quick. Kobe or LeBron?
Jordan.
Oh my God. Ed Reed or Sean Taylor?
Sean Taylor.
Phil Jackson or Popovich?
Popovich.
Nas or Jay-Z?
Yeah, right. Nas.
Wilson or Springbrook?
Springbrook, baby.
Hey, Kobe, I got real quick.
I would have had 400 yards on Wilson at halftime.
My son played in the little league up in Rockville, right?
Yeah.
So they play Springbrook. So I didn't know the head coach of Springbrook was a lady. You knew that?
Yeah, they just announced it. Treon told me. Yep.
So she comes up to me and she like, she talking to me. I got Mandela with me. She like, oh man, your daughter. I was like, yeah, she started to play volleyball. She's like, look, where you live? I was like, DC. She's like, you ever thought about coming to Springbrook? I said, listen here, I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. It's absolutely no way in the world I can send my kids to Springbrook. I said, my best friend went there. It is not happening. I would never, ever hit. She was like, nah, we building a big program. I was like, no, sir.
You don't want your kids to play for a winning program, boy.
We would have beat the shit out of Springbrook.
All right. So look, that wraps up our show today. Omar, Mpume, we appreciate you tremendously for joining this show. You guys was excellent. You gave us your expert opinions on so many topics. Once again, we appreciate it. All the listeners out there who joined us through social media and who will be watching this show on YouTube. Thank you very much for supporting the No Cap Sports Show podcast. Once again, my name is Colby Turner. I'll be your special host for the next couple weeks. Hopefully, I can get these two gentlemen to join me again next week. But until then, everybody have a good night and thank you again and salute.
Appreciate you having me. Salute.
Love y'all, brothers, man.
Respect and honor.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.